Hey guys, it's Ally, and in today's video, I want to talk about the worst girl of the years that American Girl has ever made. So for those of you guys who for some reason are watching this video and don't know what a girl of the year is, this is a line that was introduced by American Girl in the year 2000, I believe, and traditionally it's supposed to be a doll who's only available for 1 year. Some of the older dolls were available for 2 years, and nowadays American Girl is doing this weird thing where they're keeping girl of the years from like 4 years ago, not retired. Don't know what's up with that. Maybe they're like top sellers or something like that. But some girl of the years are definitely better than others, and that is what we are talking about today. So these girl of the years are not necessarily terrible dolls, but they are definitely lower ranked in my personal rankings of the girl of the years. This could be because of the appearance of the doll, they had a really bad collection, their story was boring, etc. So I have 7 dolls that we are going to be talking about today. So without further ado, let's get started. The first girl of the year is one who I've talked about a few times in some of my more recent videos, and that is Kailey Hopkins, girl of the year from 2003 to 2004. She is the second girl of the year, so in terms of girl of the year history, she does still play a very important part. However, she is very forgettable. Her appearance isn't really anything super unique. She's a classic mold, which we have seen so many of, especially in those days. She has light skin, brown eyes, blonde hair. So there's no really cool standout features about her, like a unique eye color, freckles, a unique wig, or anything like that. She does have a cool meat outfit though, and I like how it's beachy, but it's still relatively simple, especially compared to more modern girl of the year meat outfits. Her collection is also very small, as she was one of the first girl of the years, and their collection was really small back in the days, gradually growing to the big collections that we are used to nowadays. She didn't really have a big ticket item or anything like that. Let's talk about her collection. So the only other outfit included in Kailey's collection besides her meat outfit was her wetsuit and bikini. It's kind of like one of those 2-in-1 outfits, but nowadays we are so used to girl of the years each having pajamas and things like that. A second outfit released halfway through the year, so her collection is definitely very tiny. She did have a few accessories though, including Sandy the dog, because all girl of the year dolls need a pet. She had a snorkel set, a boogie board, and a towel. Do you want to buy a doll towel? How much did the towel even cost? $6. Okay, good that this towel was not overpriced, but just selling a singular towel is so random to me. So that is why she's on this list. Really tiny collection, forgettable doll, no super unique features or must-have items. So the next girl of the year that we are going to be talking about is Nicki Fleming, girl of the year for 2007. Just like Kailey, I have been talking about her a lot recently on my channel, just because I feel like she's one of the more boring and forgettable girl of the year dolls. Let's start by talking about her appearance. She is a classic mold, which we have seen plenty of times before. Light skin. American Girl Wiki says that she has light brown hair, but it looks more like a caramel blonde type of hair. It is curly, but it's not necessarily anything super unique, and she does have blue eyes as well as freckles. In a lot of my videos where I say how forgettable Nicki is, people are like, but she's Alita from Aspen Heights. I didn't even know she was a Nicki doll when I first got into Aspen Heights, and even if there is one really popular Nicki doll, I can't name that many people who own Nicki, and as a girl of the year, not just a doll playing a character, she is very forgettable. Her collection doesn't really have any memorable pieces in it, and even though she was the first horse girl of the year, there's nothing really that appealing about her story in my opinion. Moving on to her collection, she got a lot more items than Kailey had. She has more than one outfit. So let's quickly go over everything in her collection. She had a ranch outfit, a gala outfit, a tie top and shorts, and some ski wear. Her accessories were a straw hat, her dog in training, Sprocket. I feel like that's probably the most memorable item in her collection, but I know that her dog is a big part of her story. She has Jackson the horse, Jackson's tack box, and Nicki's ski gear. She does have a lot of cool pieces. She has some wintry pieces, some summery pieces, but just nothing is very memorable, and I haven't read her books or anything, but her story does feel a bit all over the place with dogs and then horses and then skiing, so she isn't really memorable, and that's why she's on this list. From one horse girl to another, the next one on my list of worst girl of the years is Saige Copeland. Saige was the second girl of the year who I fully experienced when I got into American Girl. I saw when her collection released, I saw all of the ads in the magazine for Saige. At the time, I did think she was a really pretty doll. Nowadays, when all of the Saige dolls are getting a bit old and crusty, I see a lot of Saiges with very bad hair, which does deter me from the doll a little bit, but we're talking about the doll, not how people have treated the doll. I absolutely love her meat outfit and the hairstyle that she comes in. However, she is one of the more forgettable girl of the years, just like Nicki and Kailey were. Right before her, we had McKenna Brooks. She had the first girl of the year movie in a long time. A ton of gymnastics stuff. Her bunk bed was everywhere, and I was fully immersed in the year of McKenna. And then right after that, we had Isabelle, who I know a lot of people don't like, but I liked her collection a lot, as that was the first time I went to an American Girl store. She also had a movie, and I own a bunch of stuff in Isabelle's collection, so Saige is just kind of forgettable in the middle for me. I did read her books though a long time ago. Once again, she is a classic mold with light skin, auburn hair, which is pretty unique for the Girl of the Year line, and really pretty bright blue eyes. She also has freckles, and let's talk about her collection a little bit. So Saige did have a lot of items in her collection, some which I did see quite a bit on AGTube and AGIG, such as her sparkle dress, her parade outfit, her pajamas, her sweater outfit, and her tunic outfit. She also had several accessories, such as Saige's accessories, her dog, her hot air balloon set, her horse, her parade saddle set, parade hat and helmet, painting set, and picnic set. If I remember correctly, Saige's main struggle throughout her books and her movie was anxiety about leading the parade, which is cool and all, but we already had a horse girl of the year in Nicki, so Saige's story doesn't feel that unique. I know everyone always complains how we have so many dancing girl of the years, but we have so many animal loving, horse loving girl of the years too. We need to be talking about that issue more. If you're gonna criticize dancing, my sport, then we gotta criticize the horse girls. I'm sorry. Compared to the dolls that came before and after her, Saige just kind of fades into the background, just like Beige and Beige Day. The next doll who I'm going to talk about is actually one of my favorite girl of the years story-wise, but a lot of people do dislike her, and I can see why, and that is Isabelle Palmer. Now, everyone on social media is like, I hate Isabelle. Isabelle's the worst girl of the year. But she does have a special place in my heart. When the American Girl store near me opened up and I went for the first time, Isabelle was the reigning girl of the year, so being able to see her in her collection in person was very exciting for me. She is one of my favorite girl of the year story-wise, as I feel like I am Isabelle. I dance just like her, I sew just like her, so all of the dance stuff in her book is very relatable to me. Go check out AGJitters movie commentary of Isabelle that I was in if you want to hear me talk like a dancer and just criticize dancing and all that stuff. But I do understand that there have been several dancer girl of the years, and I will just say, if we are hating on Isabelle for being a dancer, Saige was before Isabelle, who pretty much copied Nicki. So why are we only hating on Isabelle for copying Marisol when we should be hating on Saige? The AG community does not make any sense. People say that the doll is pretty much Lainey with slightly different hair, which I do see that. I do own Lainey, so I am a fan of her appearance. She is yet another classic mold with light skin. She has blonde hair, however, she has detachable extensions, which I personally like much better than having them permanently in the doll's hair like Luciana, and she has hazel eyes, which American Girl does use a lot nowadays. However, I absolutely love her eyes. As for her collection was unique because it included a lot of mix and match pieces, and I do own several of them. I own the coral sweater, the funky leggings, and the scrunch pants, I believe. So I remember always going to the store and being excited to see her collection, but I feel like her most popular item that I saw everywhere back in the days was her studio with like the sewing kit and all that stuff. So I thought it was really cool. So even though she's not necessarily my least favorite girl of the year, I do understand why people dislike her because the dancer trope is very overused, and I guess appearance wise she's not that unique other than her pink hair. The next one I'm going to quickly talk about is Gabriella McBride, and I think you guys all know why she's one of the worst girl of the years. Her collection was very last minute and rushed. She's another dancer, and she's pretty much just a recycled Truly Me doll. Even though we all wanted a doll of color for a girl of the year, we didn't mean retire a Truly Me doll, give her a new meat outfit, and create a character for her. We wanted something original. So it just felt very lazy to make Gabriella, in my opinion. The next girl of the year I'm going to talk about is one who, just like Isabelle, I feel like she gets way more hate than she actually deserves, and that is Blaire Wilson. Some people hate on her appearance, and even though I feel like a different mold than a Josefina mold would have suited her better, I really do love Blaire's wig with the green eyes, and I know she also had the bad eyes, but you could always send her into the doll hospital and get that fixed. But the main reason I put Blaire on here is her story. Why is a 10-year-old planning a wedding? Who would trust a 10-year-old to plan a wedding? I feel like there would just be like sparkles and unicorns everywhere. So that's very random. If American Girl is trying to be relatable, they're not doing a great job with Blaire's story. She does have a dairy allergy though, and I feel like that's very useful for people who are maybe lactose intolerant and are struggling to cope with that. The next doll is another one who we have talked about so many times on my channel. I feel like my channel is becoming known for bashing this doll, but that is Luciana. She does have a cool and unique story, a cool and unique collection, but the main reason I dislike her is because of the appearance of the doll and her meat outfit. Galaxy is one of those trends that is super dated, and even though it works with Luciana's story, for her being one of the older girl of the years, I believe she was 12 in her stories, she should not be wearing bright pink galaxy print. I absolutely hate the pattern of her meat dress and the hollow everywhere. It's just super dated and did not age well at all. I also dislike that the purple in her hair is not removable, because if you want your dolls to all look very natural, which is what I like to do with my collection, and your doll has a giant purple streak in her hair and you can't remove it, it's not my personal style, so that is why she's one of my least favorites. Finally, we have the reigning girl of the year, who is Kira Bailey. A lot of people were disappointed when she wasn't a doll of color, fair enough, but I think what hurt Kira the most is that the girl of the year that came right before her was Joss Kendrick, one of my favorite dolls. I love her wig. She got a brand new face mold, she had a disability which was a hearing aid, and a pretty good story. So even though Joss wasn't a doll of color, she's definitely one of the best, more recent girl of the years that American Girl has made. And having to follow Joss with all the progress that American Girl's been making with disabilities and things like that, we get Kira, a basic blonde with a Josefina mold, and there's nothing super unique about this doll, plus she also looks a lot like Julie. Her story also involves animals, and there have been so many animal lover girl of the years like Leah Clark, and I believe Lainey liked animals. We had Saige with her horses, Nicki with her dog and her horses. So even though Kira likes koalas, this trope has still very much been overdone. And this is just a personal thing, and a few other girl of the years had this in their stories, but Kira's stories take place in Australia, and it's supposed to be American Girl. And I know people have talked about this on social media and things like that, but personally, if your doll is going to Australia for her stories, she's not really an American girl. Like, we can't all just go off to Australia whenever we want, especially these days with like the lockdowns and things like that. So I do wish that her story was a tad bit more relatable than going to Australia and playing with koalas all day. But if American Girl wants to make their dolls travel the world, then so be it. To summarize all of that, she had to follow Joss, who was a really good girl of the year. Her design is not original, and her animal-loving theme has been done so many times. So that is my list of the worst girl of the years in my opinion. Comment down below who is your least favorite girl of the year, and I'm hoping that for girl of the year 2022 we can have a doll of color with a more unique hobby, a good meat outfit, and something that the community will all really love, because I feel like we've been super picky with our girl of the years lately because American Girl is not giving us what we want. But of course, we are not their main target audience, and they've got to appeal to the kids. So if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to my channel and ring that bell so you are notified whenever I post a new video. And of course, have an amazing day, and I will see you guys soon with another American Girl video. Bye!